All right, I said I was going to put a video together about how to save tropical trees during a hard freeze. We're about to have a hard freeze tonight in Louisiana. So what I'm doing, the first thing, if you have an irrigation system or if you have a way to water your, if your soil is not already watered, it's always a good thing before a frost or before a freeze to have your soil around the trees or plants or bushes, whatever you're trying to save. In my case, predominantly trees, a couple of bushes, to have it moist before you cover it before the freeze happens. Don't water that once the temperature falls below 32 degrees. But actually, I'm watering my beds now. I have an irrigation system. I should have really done it earlier, but I just got home. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. Second thing I'm going to do is I've got some extra pines. I always keep pine straw on the side to add an extra mulch layer around the bottom of my trees. I'm going to wait to let it dry out a little bit. And then I'm going to add the extra couple of inches of mulch around the roots of my trees and maybe a couple of my bushes. Next thing I'm doing right now is you see these are heat lamps. Some of you might call them chicken lamps. I'm not sure. I'm not from the South. But anyway, actually I'm from the South. I'm just not from the country. I got these heat lamps, and you can get them anywhere, Lowe's, Home Depot, whatever. I like this place down the road, P&M Hardware, I think it's called, and get these bulbs, and these are heat lamps. Make sure you get the ones that are heat lamps, and I don't think there's a difference between red and white, clear. I think the red's maybe for chickens. I don't know, maybe something that's not bright, I don't know. But I get whatever they have, and I always keep backup on supply because when it gets really cold, almost every place in town is going to run out of these. So I have your heat lamps, and I have for my 2 trees, I think I have another one. I probably have one missing. I got to go look for it. I like to have 3 in each tree. So I probably, if I don't have it, I'm going to have to go make a run and get me another heat lamp. This is probably what saved my tropical bottle brush trees last year was these heat lamps. I actually had a professional arborist come in at spring last year and cut down some damage from my trees from the hard freeze last year. It just about killed them. These are Zone 9 trees. They're native to Australia. You probably won't ever see trees like mine. I'll show you in a minute how tall these trees are. I bought them as saplings, and like I said, they're native to Australia. They cannot tolerate cold. So it's like having animals, livestock, what I have to do. These 2 trees are probably close to a decade. Hey, girl. Maybe 9 years old or something. I bought them as saplings, and they have come basically near death. I've got some pictures of them where there's like just one green spot on the whole tree after a snow or freeze. Very, very tender trees. So that's first thing. Keep your ground moist. Second, get your heat lamps or chicken lights, whatever you call these. And third thing is get your mulch ready.
Hi.
Okay, bye.
We'll call back. The sun's fixing to go down.
Okay, come on, I'm filming now.
Okay, next step is pine straw or mulch. If you got hay or something like that, it's always better to have a natural mulch. So get around the bottom of my trees. Whew, I'm about out of breath. Okay, so I had pine straw on the side, so you need to cover up your root area real well. I'm only this year going to worry about my 2 bottle brush trees. And here, I want you to take a picture of my trees. Got my son out here videoing. These are my bottle brush trees, and they were all but dead. There was like 3 green leaves on them after the last snowfall. So other than camellia bushes and bottle brush trees, I'm not worried about the rest of I'm tired of babysitting trees. But anyway, get your mulch down. Next thing, I have some spotlights. Get a picture of this. Some of these old school heated spotlights that I put on there for warmth. Okay. I've got these old outdoor heaters. Well, I guess they're outdoor. I use them for outdoor. You got to be real careful though. Don't let have something leaning on them so that they don't get on the pine straw. You don't want them to start a fire. I come out here and watch these about every hour when I'm awake, about every 4 when I'm not. But anyway, I put these heat lamps on the base of the trees. You need to put them on the base of the trees because that's what kills the sap, from what I understand. And I should have already said a long time ago, I am no expert in this. I am yard mama. Just a mama who's doing a video with her son, but I can tell you that you probably won't see trees like this anywhere else in Northeast Louisiana. This tall, they're bottle brush trees because I've kept them alive all these years. All right, last step is I put my chicken lights, I put 3 in each side. I might actually show where the chicken lights are in the trees. If you are expecting precipitation, you don't want to face them up, especially if you're expecting frozen precipitation because it will crack those bulbs. I've been through that. You really probably want to face them toward the biggest root or whatever, limbs or whatever that come up, because from what I understand, what you want to do is prevent the sap from freezing. So I've got 3 chicken lamps in it, whatever, chicken lights, whatever you call them, in each tree, predominantly facing the biggest middle stems, is that what you call them? And then also I have these floodlights that I'm going to move some of this stuff around, and I have them facing the roots of my trees as well. I'll fool with that in a minute. Be careful, don't do what I do like that, about having debris. You don't want to cause a fire. Move pine straw and that out of the way in front of them. And I think the last thing is, of course, you got to have extension cords. I have about 500. Okay, I've got these heaters right here, and I'm going to fool with them a little bit. You face them toward the base of the tree, but you don't want to get them close to anything, and I'm going to move some of this stuff out of the way and kind of clean it up a little bit. But again, get your soil moist if you can. Well, it's too late before, you got to do that before the freeze. Wrap the roots going up like this, or the trunk, of the tree, and you can double wrap it, and I use beach towels, little bungee cords, chicken lamps, heaters, and spotlights. And I will take this off as soon as, I think they can generally go 2 hours freezing, and then after that it's considered a hard freeze. So I think it's supposed to freeze till like 7 or 8 a.m. in the morning. So when I leave, I'll just have to turn this stuff off, and I think 2 hours will be okay for it. Otherwise, I'd have to leave all this stuff hooked up all day, which I don't like doing. But anyway, it's worked so far. Like I said, I'm not a professional, but I've had these trees over almost a decade, and even though I've had to do major trim backs, I've been able to keep them alive. One last thing, I forgot to take my bulbs out from Halloween. I'm going to go put my regular bulbs in, because sometimes just like 1 or 2 degrees difference can make a difference in these trees. And if you don't have all this stuff, because I know everybody doesn't have heaters and all, you can take those Christmas lights, especially the old-fashioned ones, the big C9 or C7, whatever they are. Wrap those. I used to wrap those around my trees before they got too big. Christmas lights, and this will be about the time of year to do that too. Anything that will put heat on them and that will be safe, even if it will change the temperature 1 degree, can save your trees. So if this helps somebody, I'm just here to help. I just thought I'd just let you know what I do, and maybe it'll save some of your tropical trees too. Good luck.
All right.